And when you're in those situations, if like that workout in the gym, when you're wearing your gloves and the air conditioning is the most stressful time of your day, the very minor things that you do on your day-to-day basis are going to seem just as stressful. Like if you're caught up at work and you're super behind and you can't catch up, you're going to be stressed out to no end. But I work in the restaurant industry, and when I get caught up and busy, I don't care. I was just on the mountain earlier that day trying to run uphill, and that was way more stressful. I can go get you guys drinks. I don't care. Like, that is so minor to me.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another LT360 Podcast. Today, my guest is someone that grew up right around the corner from me, right? We went to the same school pretty much our entire life. We were just separated by different grades. And we ended up playing football together in high school. And we ended up growing into the understanding that, fitness and being active was who we are, who we want to be, and how we get through our day-to-day struggles and our day-to-day lives. So he has since separated himself from the rest of the United States, and he's put himself on the island of Oahu, living in Honolulu. He is an obstacle course racer, a specialist. He runs with his age groups very, very competitively. And that is, if you know obstacle course racing, one of the best places in the world to do it. So he is living that life, and I can't say enough about watching him and what he does on a day-to-day basis through social media and how it helps me. So that's why I wanted him on here. I feel like he can provide a lot of value, and just like he says, right, run hills, not your mouth. So he's about doing it. He's not about just talking it. So he's going to talk a little bit about it and share with us today. So Eric Wesolowski, Pats fan number one, welcome to the LT360 Podcast, bro.
Yeah, it's a pleasure, Dylan. I'm glad we're finally able to connect and
I know took a couple
connect on this platform,
but it's all good. It's all good.
A few hours of time change will do that, yeah. I suppose.
You guys have no idea the time change threw some loops into the scheduling, but it's all good. We got it done.
Yeah, we got together.
So, yeah, and if you guys can see, so something real quick we'll hit on, right? We grew up in a nice, tightly lived space, right? Rhode Island, it's one of a kind. It's one of
Cranston in particular.
Yeah, Cranston especially, right? One of the most densely populated places in one of the most densely populated states. So he happened to turn his camera on, and I was like, oh, hold on. Before we say anything, I got to do something, because if you see what he's got right there on his wall behind him, that is an outline of Rhode Island. And this right here is the exact same one. It hangs up in my kitchen every single day. It's there. And when I saw it, I could not believe it.
Immediately left the screen to go run and grab it. We got a couple of the same items, I suppose.
Yeah, yep. We also have a cutting board that's Rhode Island.
It's an awkward shaped cutting board, but it's the one I use every day to prep or whatever I use. But
it works. It just goes to show, right? We come from one of those places that will always be here regardless of where we are, because I'm in Florida now, you're in Hawaii. So it just goes to show that it runs deep in our blood, right? Bleed green.
Yeah, that's for sure. I definitely love my roots. Like a lot of people that I know live there now, everyone says they want to leave. I want to leave Rhode Island. Nobody leaves Rhode Island. Everybody stays there. Nobody even just living there. I never knew of people that moved to Rhode Island. It was so few and far in between. There was never new kids in school. That was very, very limited. And everyone, I hate it here. I never hated it here.
No, I never hated it. Absolutely
I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I loved the seasons. I loved the people. But something new. And, I imagine you've grown since you've made the move. I definitely have immensely myself as well.
Yeah, no, dude. If there's anything I can say about moving, it's that mentally you have to level up so many levels, so many different things that you have to, interact with, and that are just far different. I mean, as simple as not having your lifelong childhood friends there, right? And you gotta be without your family, your friends. It plays a big role in your mental health. So you have to learn how to deal with that with yourself and everything. So What actually made you make the move?
No reason in particular, no job thing or anything like that. We did have one of our good roommates, one of my fiance's best friends moved out here. So we kind of knew someone that was already on island. And we were considering the move. We were looking to go to different places, Washington, California. But we knew nobody in those places. And it would just be kind of just for ourselves to grow and, step outside of our comfort zone. So we said, why not go to Hawaii? And my thought process of it, because I'm so tentative when it came to this. Like I had a good job. I worked for Benny's. I was a Benny's boy. Yeah, and I was a manager. I was running stores and I loved it. Like I had older people working for me and I was like, wow, I'm doing really well. I'm 24, years old or whatever. And my fiance was doing the exact same thing where he got into the corporate rush of let's work. Let's work as much as we can and, try to climb that corporate ladder. And then I'm looking around, I'm like, well, this guy's 60 and he was doing what I'm doing now at my age. I don't want to be doing that. So it was like almost like I don't want to do this forever, so let's go out, let's explore. And she was the one that was pushing me outside of my comfort zone for this move. And once I got here in Hawaii, it was a big culture shock because it's an island in the middle of the Pacific. You are definitely a minority here. Being out here, there's a lot of Asian influence, a lot of people coming in, from the East rather, from Japan and things of that nature. So stepping outside of your comfort zone is definitely a piece of it without a doubt.
Yeah.
That's where, without a doubt to transition, fitness comes into big play.
That's so huge, dude, because mentally you go through so many ups and downs, but if you can get into some sort of routine that allows you to ground yourself, like for me, obviously it used to be basketball. I played basketball my entire life. I played through college. That was it for me. And then I moved and I no longer had friends to go play basketball with. I no longer knew where to play basketball. Because I didn't grow up around here. I didn't know every court. I didn't know Dew Temple and Doric and Bud Long. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know all the spots. So it was, yeah, exactly. Right. The alma mater, bro. It's helped me so much being able to connect with people through fitness. And I'm sure you've done a lot of the same. And through the obstacle course races, like, hell yeah, you're literally just meeting hundreds of new people every time you go to an event and you're running and competing against them, but you're also learning and you're training with them. Maybe if you learn that they live near you and things like that.
And one big thing, we have an amazing community here in Hawaii. I'm actually rocking the shirt, the Hawaii Spartan Ohana.
Yes.
It's a group that was created a few years back. And I just recently came across them a year and a half ago or so. Nice. Met my coach, John Obalaje. Can't say enough good things about that guy. He's a back-to-back age group world champion. The race was supposed to be happening this weekend in Lake Tahoe. Unfortunately, it was canceled. That was a majority of my focused training throughout the year. Was kind of focusing on that race in particular. That was my A race for the year. But we're going to do something big for the this weekend, of course, to, replace that.
Yeah, of course.
But met up with that group and we do a lot of group trainings. We usually do like a once a week kind of thing where you just get outside and run hills, not your mouth. We carry sandbags. We do rope climbs and multi-rigs, different like ninja style obstacles and always running in between. So you're going into these, difficult obstacles, like a heavy carry with a high heart rate. So it's like, yeah, I can do this monkey bars, no problem. But can you do the monkey bars at a heart rate of like 165, 170? Yeah. Super hard. It's not as easy. Yeah, for sure.
Total game changer. When you moved to Hawaii, were you already into the obstacle course like landscape? Were you?
No, not at all. So I'll do a little backtracking. Like I said, I worked for Benny's. It's a very unhealthy lifestyle. 30-minute lunch break, you go to KFC. You go to McDonald's, you're eating garbage. I would drink 3 Dunkin' Donuts coffees a day. Like that was New England. Everyone did that. Like, that's not, like, if you were still in Rhode Island, you'd be like, only 3? Only 2? Like, that's just what you do. And it was just an unhealthy lifestyle. I was, doing side businesses. I was working for a friend of mine. We were distributing to the dispensaries. So we were growing for, a few years, and that went really well. That was a great side business. But again, it was an unhealthy lifestyle because it was constantly go, 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 and not as much time to worry about yourself.
Be here. Yeah.
You're caught up in your head and not in your body. But as we decided to move, we gave ourselves like a 6-month, like, all right, we're going to be there in October. And I slowly started to chisel off the pounds. I got up to like 215 pounds when I was back home.
Damn,
I got pretty darn big. And slowly but surely, when I was back home, I would, be going to the gym more. I would train almost like I was doing obstacle races, but I knew nothing about them. I was doing what I like to call compromised running. So there's a million different ways you can do compromised running, but I would be on the treadmill, do my mile run, and then I would go do my pull-ups. And then I would hop back on the treadmill, go do whatever other kind of strength activity. So you're going into these strength activities a bit fatigued. Mm-hmm. But that was just like, I thought, have a high heart rate and lift things and run, and that's how you lose weight. So I was doing that slowly but surely. Then when we moved to Hawaii, Halloween of 2017, like I said, I didn't know anybody out here. I had no friends. I lived right at the bottom of this mountain, Tantalus, and they have the most amazing trail system right in my backyard.
Nice.
They have HURT is the Hawaii Ultra Running Team, and they do the HURT 100, a 100-mile race right in my backyard, a 20-mile loop that you do 5 times. That's something that I was trying to do this year. Again, they canceled the whole series. So that's something maybe 2021 we can think about. Okay. Another year to prep for that isn't going to be a bad thing. But I was just, alone. I was doing all these things by myself. I would go out, just get lost, and explore these trails. I was doing trail running, but I wasn't like, I was just doing it just to get outside and just be busy. Mm-hmm. As well, I would be doing gym membership, so I would constantly go there as well. And then I, kind of was like, well, I'm getting pretty good at running. Like, I want to do something. So again, I don't have anyone to do anything. So I'm Googling stuff, and I found they did a Spartan race in August. They do them out here at Kualoa Ranch, and that's where they do a lot of filming here on Oahu. For Jurassic Park was there. I'm so bad with movies, but a lot of other ones. But it's the most scenic, beautiful race course. So I, did some training for it. Pretty minor, but again, I was just doing a lot of that compromised running stuff. And I would hit the treadmill on a little bit of an incline, stop, do some burpees, hop right back on the treadmill. Yeah. So I was fairly ready for it, I thought, and it kicked my ass. This race kicked my ass. And I showed up there alone. I left alone, hardly talked to anybody. I'm kind of an introvert, I really, even still, I know a ton of people on island, but I like to keep to myself, I did fairly well in the race, I guess, but it was so hard, but I loved it. I was like, dude, I love being covered in mud. I love running, but I also love picking up heavy things.
Did it bring you back to football?
It gave me back to football, but also being a child.
Yes.
Being a kid on the playground, dude. Yeah. And just swinging from the monkey bars and, it's almost a goofy sport. It truly is. And there are professionals in this sport who essentially solely do this. And they're like, you're a professional obstacle racer? It's like, I'm not yet. We're progressively getting faster and stronger to get to that point, but it's something that's growing.
It really is. Oh, huge.
It's growing. They're trying to make a push for the Olympics. So I do the Spartan races. I see you're wearing the Deca Fit.
I had to wear it for you.
Yeah, no, I thought it was very appropriate. Yeah. And that's another branch of the, Spartan brand.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the obstacle race things, but they're trying to make them to go into the Olympics where they're making them 5K, 10K, 21K, trying to standardize them a little bit more. Because for years it was always like, it's like a 4-ish mile race. It's like, well, like, what the hell's 4-ish miles? You end up doing 5.5 miles. Like, and after that, after the first race, I truly liked it. I was like, this is fun. And then, I didn't do another race for almost a year, because they only have them
every once in a while
on island once a year.
Okay.
But they do what they call the trifecta weekend, where they do all of their race distances.
Wow, okay.
And then the next year, we had a hurricane that was nothing more than a light drizzle and some wind. But when you're in the middle of the Pacific, it's like you're going to get screwed. So they canceled the race that weekend.
Damn.
Bummer. So then, last year, I was like, I really want to pursue this. I really started training. I really started focusing on doing a lot of grip strength, doing a lot of different kind of running activities. And then it was April of last year, I went and took a trip to Seattle. Went to Seattle, Washington by myself. The lady didn't come with me for this trip, so I was like, I'm focused on this race. And I trained really hard for it, and I got annihilated. It was 40 degrees. It was rainy, wet. If you've ever been to the Pacific Northwest, the weather is awful. That was a main reason why when we were deciding where to move, obviously Hawaii doesn't have bad weather. So that was an easy indicator to come here instead. But it was brutal. A ton of people got hypothermia during that race because they're making you crawl through the rivers and they're doing all sorts of gnarly stuff. I did terrible that race, but I'm so glad I did bad that race because it really opened my eyes because I was falling off obstacles. And I'm like, I trained my grip so hard, but like, I don't train with wet hands. I don't train with wet, cold hands. I don't train when I'm like soaking, covered in mud. And I do it in the gym and I'm on a pull-up bar and I'm doing dead hangs and like very comfortable scenarios. And during these races, you're never comfortable at all.
The one race I did, it was the same thing, dude. And it was
a bone frog or?
I did a savage race. Yeah, I did a savage race. And it was 7-ish miles. I think we ran about 8. And there was 32 obstacles. And I had never done one. I literally did not train for it whatsoever. I was just going about my normal shit.
Yeah.
And to see people there doing what they were doing, I was like, all right, this isn't fair. Like, why am I do this on a daily basis? I'm
very fit. I have no body fat,
I'm a fitness professional. What is this?
Yeah.
And it's cool just to realize that it really becomes more here than a lot of people will give credit for. And once you are in that like mindset of like, no, I'm good. I'm not hurting. I'm not boom, boom, boom. You just find a way to get through it. And it exposed a lot of weaknesses for me. So it was huge. And that seems like exactly what you're doing is every time you go to a race, you're exposing yourself to weaknesses and putting yourself in a harder situation like that. If you do that 100-mile race, like what? Like that's just it's going to break you down in such a way that makes you want to be better. And I think that's what most people struggle with. They don't ever want to do that, right? Like, let's go to a gym. Let's make sure it's air conditioned properly. And like, I hope I got to wear gloves because like the TRX hurts my hands. Like, what are we training for?
It's life is not uncomfortable. You have to embrace the suck,
Embrace the suck.
Life's messy. Life's messy. You have to train messy,
Valid, super valid point. You have to train for the unknown because that's exactly everything we do is unprecedented, right?
And when you're in those situations, if like that workout in the gym, when you're wearing your gloves and the air conditioning is the most stressful time of your day, the very minor things that you do on your day-to-day basis are going to seem just as stressful. Like if you're caught up at work and you're super behind and you can't catch up, you're going to be stressed out to no end. But I work in the restaurant industry, and when I get caught up in busy, I don't care. I was just on the mountain earlier that day trying to run uphill, and that was way more stressful. I can go get you guys drinks. I don't care. Like, that is so minor to me. Like,
everything is relative, right? Everything is super relative. So if your spectrum is only this big, then everything, every minor little change is going to feel like a huge difference. But if your spectrum is all the way, you're expanding your limits one way or the other, then this little movement right here doesn't do shit. It doesn't affect you.
Yeah, I totally agree.
That's a good point.
The stepping out the outside of the comfort zone, especially in fitness and especially in this OCR racing, it's kind of what it's about.
Yeah. Like, you're doing some training like underwater, running with medicine balls and shit. Like,
yeah. So that, goes back to my coach. That's a whole ancient Hawaiian technique. And that's definitely part of the training I've been incorporating. So my coach, he's certified in XPT. I believe it's extreme physical training or something like that. It was created by Larry Hamilton. He's a big wave surfer here in Hawaii. And what they do is a lot of breath holds, a lot of underwater work. And that rock running stuff is just an ancient Hawaiian thing where they just take rocks and they run on the bottom of the ocean.
That's so hilarious.
So simple, right? Like, it sounds almost childish again, but you're in something like that where you're underwater, you don't have the oxygen, your muscles are screaming for it, but you're still moving. And as you're pumping those legs, you're using more and more oxygen. And when you feel like you don't have anything left, you're about at 20%.
Yep.
You hardly even scratch the surface. Yeah. That's something that obviously with these water trainings, it's extremely dangerous. It's something that you always need a partner to have with. So I'll usually go out with some people. Plus, you kind of need a rest. You need to catch your breath in between those type of activities. Yeah. But I've done a couple of XPT workshops where you do different things. You do some dumbbell carries where you say they have one called ammo can. You hold dumbbell right up close to your chest and you're stroking with one arm. And your head is underwater the whole time. They have another one called cell phones. Like the dumbbell's like a cell phone that you're holding out of the water. So it's an isometric shoulder exercise with the breath hold while you're swimming. They have a ton of different other things, but I like this for a low impact recovery style workout.
Hell yeah.
I know you're a big basketball guy. Joakim Noah, he trains with Larry. And if you follow his career, that dude has been riddled with injuries. All these 6'+ guys, 6'10" guys, they have horrible knees. You're jumping up and down. And I saw trainings of him. They have a basketball hoop in the pool. He has a medicine ball. He's jumping out of the water and dunking it. And they're doing these, but it's so low impact that the next day there's no issues in your body.
Yeah, totally. So that's something that most people don't understand. And we talk about it all the time at the gym. The world's best exercise, swimming. For what reason? For one, total body, every single muscle in your body has to move. For two, super low impact. For three, the water actually helps you pump blood and lactic acid out better in a recovery process because there's constant osmotic pressure on your muscles and on your bones. And that's what's
full body compression in that water.
Exactly. And then four, you talk about sensory deprivation and how that's emerged as a therapy as of late, right? And your ears, you're not hearing anything. Right? You're going without oxygen. Once again, you're underwater. Your eyes are closed. You're not seeing anything. You're just getting super in tune with that heartbeat, right?
Yep. And you're not on land, so you're dealing again with that more uncomfortable factor. It's like, I don't belong here in this water.
Yes.
You're also fighting with if I don't stroke and I don't tread water fast enough, I could drown.
Yep.
So
stress.
It's like you have
another
stressor added to it.
And it's funny because it's crazy to me that people are afraid of water. It still blows my mind because before you were a walking, breathing human, you were literally amphibious for 9 months in a womb. So it's literally innate as a human that you have that in your nervous system. Like you're capable.
I'm sure you've seen those videos of them tossing babies into the pool.
Yeah.
Young children. I'm like, what are they doing? Like, I don't have any kids, but I wouldn't toss my baby in the pool. But like, they just, they go right to their back, and it's an instinct.
It is, because we experience it.
But when you gain, knowledge as a child, and you start gaining fears, you don't want to do that when you're a young person. And if you don't know how to swim now, you're terrified because you know consequences. You understand consequences.
Yeah. So in terms of the breathing, you're definitely also a huge Wim Hof guy, no?
I do a lot of ice baths. I do a lot of ice baths.
Yeah.
I do enjoy that. I don't follow Wim Hof per se. I like a lot of what he has. He just wants you to breathe a lot, oxygenate your blood, and that's. I follow this XPT a little bit more. I didn't really do a lot of Wim Hof research and stuff.
Okay.
But as stupid as this is going to sound, there's nothing more important than breathing.
No.
There's nothing.
Yeah. People overlook it though. People
overlook it. And before every run for the past few months, I'll do my stretches, I'll do my little warm up, and then I sit down. I do some inhales in through the nose, out through the mouth, slow, and then I'll do some, and you try to get all that oxygen out, and you try to balance out your CO2 levels. Yes. And then once those levels are balanced out, I do a breath hold. Mm-hmm. And you're breathing in through your nose, so you're getting that bottom part of your lung. If you have these shallow mouth breaths, you're only doing half your lungs.
Yeah, your
diaphragm. You get that deep one, and you gain into the bottom of your lungs. You're engaging in all the oxygen that you can hold, and then you do these holds, and it makes your lungs stronger. And then I go out, I do a little recovery, kind of like just like regular breathing, and then I'm ready to go. And my lungs they're primed up, because you're gonna stretch your calves, you're gonna stretch your quads, your hamstrings.
Why not?
What are you doing during a cardiovascular exercise? You're pumping your heart, you're pumping your lungs. You can't ignore those things. If you just did an easy stretch and hopped outside for a run, you're not going to run as far. You're not going to run as hard. Your heart rate's going to jump up way higher.
Yes, sir. Super valid. I try to explain that to people all the time. And the muscles that expand and contract around your lungs are your diaphragm, your pelvic floor, your external and internal obliques. I try to teach people that all the time. If there's anything you can get better at that will improve every other aspect of your life, it's breathing. Every single one. And
it sounds so simple.
It's the number one thing we have to do. It
sounds so simple. And I have, athletes that I follow, some really good runners. And one tool that I use now is this app called Strava. This has been huge in, especially this year with all races canceled, this is a GPS thing that tracks your training, and it tracks your runs and things like that. But I see some big runners that they'll just do breathing exercises for 30 minutes. It's almost like yoga. It is yoga in a sense, but like
without the movement.
You're just without the movements.
Yeah.
And to go back to that app, it's been huge this year, especially because what they do is they break down all the trails. They say the Kalawahine Trail is a 1.2 mile segment with 200 feet of elevation gain, and it shows who's done it the fastest, and it shows when they did it the fastest. So it's like, oh, let me see if I can go faster than him. And then they have all sorts of segments from 7-Eleven to the mall, and they have people that break all these down, and it is so competitive out here. There is people that I have never met that I have trash talked for months, and it's like, I beat it. And then it's like, oh no, dude, I went and beat it. And it's like, well, I got to go do it again, I guess. And it adds that friendly competition, just as if race season was happening.
That's super cool. So it's almost like a social media
platform. Social media.
Yeah, it's a social media platform for running.
That's they have I think they have biking segments and swimming segments as well. But yeah, shout out Strava.
Yeah. What do you do from a biking standpoint? Do you do a lot of cycling?
I do not own a bicycle.
Okay.
So I do very little biking, but they have those like rental bikes over here.
Yeah.
So that's how I get to and from work. So I'll hop on the bike. It's a little 2-mile bike ride to work.
Nice.
And instead of parking my car or just walking, it's way more cost efficient hopping on one of those bikes. But also I'll do some low impact a couple times a month where I'll just go for, a little 10-mile or so bike ride, just to kind of keep the joints moving and such.
Yeah. Once again, super low impact, super beneficial for the lower half, gets the blood flowing, super good for just draining, everything out if you do a long,
it's something that I definitely, when I was back home in Rhode Island, I was doing a lot of mountain biking. That's one thing that I did enjoy a lot of, but I did not bring my bike out here. I feel like it would have been kind of expensive to ship across the world.
Yeah, valid. Super valid.
Yeah.
So in terms of that Strava, I think I was looking a couple days ago at something that you have coming up, like a race, or it's like a
so that's going to be the next thing, I think. OCR Stars.
Okay.
That's it's another one of these virtual races, but it's put on by world champ obstacle racer Hunter McIntyre. Super badass dude. I highly recommend following his Instagram. Even if you don't care about fitness at all, the dude's hilarious. He's absolutely great. He's done Steve Austin's Broken Skull Ranch, won that. TMX, the Toughest Mudder, which is just like another branch of Spartan.
Yeah.
But he's putting on this virtual race. It's throughout the month of November. It's 2 running exercises as well as 2 functional fitness exercises. Super minimal equipment. So if you have a gym or if you only have a couple things at the house, it's great. You need a pull-up bar. Men need 2 55-pound dumbbells. And then you need a regular plyo box, like a 24-inch by 24, 30, 20 kind of thing. And then they are going to release each week what you're going to do.
Okay. Over how many weeks?
It's going to be a 4-week thing. So each week you're going to have, first week they're going to give you maybe a running exercise. It could be like a mile time trial. It could be a 5K. It could be an all-out effort in an hour. We don't know yet. We're going to know when they release it each week. So what I'm doing now, after the big run this weekend, I got some mountain miles coming up this weekend. Then I'm going to be focused more on that, which is going to be a lot of speed training. It's going to be a lot of high-intensity intervals. No compromised running for this next couple months, or very little anyway. It's just going to be, all-out efforts, essentially.
That's what's up.
I'm going to be following along. I'm going to have people following along with my workouts throughout those 2 months to get them ready as well. We have a good community out here that is also, and winners for this, they can qualify for the Obstacle Course World Championship next year. So they're also giving out prize money. They're also sponsored by a bunch of different companies, Sumto Watches, Pure Spectrum CBD, as well as a few others that they will be handing out prizes as well.
Sweet.
So if you do good, I can get a new fitness watch. I can win some cash, which would be awesome, especially with what's going on right now.
In terms of your, so you clearly change, training style from a fitness standpoint. Do you ever change nutrition based on that, or what is your go-to? How are you living nutrition-wise?
If I train more, I eat more.
Boom.
Kind of simple. I try to keep fitness very simple. I've done vegan. I've done the pescatarian thing. I hate labeling stuff. I really hate that. But I don't eat a ton of meat. Never really have. I won't. If somebody's got a ribeye on the grill, I'm not going to turn down a bite. But I especially out here, I eat a lot of fish. It's so, and it goes to eating what's in your backyard.
True.
Because if you're I can't eat stuff that's coming from the mainland. Like I haven't had apples in forever. They have Fiji apples here that we get flown in from Fiji, and they do have, some places that grow them here, but you have to eat what's in your backyard. Because when you're eating things from the produce section of the grocery store, it was probably picked a month ago. Yeah. There's probably, it's probably been on a ship
from 4 to 6 weeks. Yeah.
Exactly. So I try to eat a lot of fish because our waters are obviously flooded with great fish. We have a lot of ahi, yellowfin, all sort of snappers, opaka paka, ono, mahi mahi. So we have a lot of good fish out here. We have some meat, we have some cattle, but it's few and far in between. One thing that this kind of surprised a lot of people, I hate chicken. I know a lot of people, they're like, oh, just eat chicken and rice, bro. Avoid the red meat. Just eat chicken. And I'm like, okay, I used to eat chicken a lot. And I think that did get me a little lean when I was back home, when I started, chiseling down pounds. But then when I moved out here and I ate chicken, I'm like, this doesn't taste the same. What is this? And, if you just look at how they make chicken, they don't raise these things. They make them. They pump them with, ton of, and I, doing research, chicken breast is one of the worst things you can eat. It is god awful. These chickens are walking around with double D's, like they got breast implants, and it's just, there's no fat. It's just very, it's lean protein. I guess if you're trying to lose weight, it's cool, but you need meat. If you're eating meat, you need meat that has natural oils, natural fats, a ribeye steak, salmon, ahi. Eating these, it's not so one-dimensional. It's just a protein source, chicken.
Yes. Super valid point. People don't understand it has to be a full spectrum. Like people talk about CBD, a full spectrum hemp oil plant. Okay. That's what is gold standard, best on the market. All right. But if I eat a chicken and it's like you said, it's been made, it hasn't been raised. It's been literally eating nothing but what's been pumped with a freaking needle into its ass.
It's been shit and pissed on its whole life.
Exactly. And it hasn't seen daylight. It has no fucking vitamin D in it. And it's living in a super stressed out environment. Why would anybody want to? I don't get that. It's just amazing that once you get to a place like where you are, it's so evident in the people and in the culture that you eat what's in your backyard, but everywhere else in the United States is so far from that. And it's crazy. It's really wild.
Well, it also comes to a convenience standpoint. Everybody wants to, quick satisfaction. Nobody wants to cook at home, especially during this pandemic. That's all I've been doing is cooking at home. I would eat out a lot. Like I worked at a restaurant. So like there would always be food available to eat. So, I would get a meal in, once a day, usually at work. But you kind of learn, especially during this when everything's closed, like you got to cook, you got to eat good to feel good.
Yes, 100%. And when you're cooking, you know exactly what's going in there.
That's a big thing.
You're the filter, right? You see it. And then not only that, but you're actually understanding of the time that it takes. You're more understanding of how it looks, how it smells, how it has to be prepared. You just naturally grow a connection with that food. It does so much more for you when you're connected to it than when it's just a protein source. Oh, I got 6 grams of protein. Great. From what? You could have done that by eating, 7 bags of spinach, or you could have done that by,
ice cream got plenty protein, bro.
Yeah, that's what I mean, Nothing
love that Halo top.
Nothing like some freeze dried milk breast, cow milk. But nutrition wise, I definitely don't try to reinvent the wheel. I try to keep it very simple. Cool.
I do my protein shakes. One thing that I know you do a lot of, the intermittent fasting as well. And one thing that definitely helped me do that was changing my coffee regimen and not putting any dairy or any creamer in it. And I just been, just drinking on ice. I'll do like either a little ice espresso, Americano kind of thing,
cool.
Or just like, just regular coffee on some ice.
Not your Dunkin' cappuccino.
Not my extra caramel swirl and cream, and every now and then I'll, we have a Dunkin' on Island that actually recently opened up.
Oh shit. Okay.
Which, after a long, hard run, I'll go to Dunkin' Donuts. I'll go, you got to get that insulin spike, dude. You got to get those sugars in so the protein gets absorbed in your muscles.
Okay. All right. I see what you're going.
And now it becomes a treat.
Yes.
It's 100%. Not my everyday coffee thing. I've seen these, little charts and stuff, Starbucks coffee, where you can get a black coffee with 0 to 10 calories, or you can get the grande caramel frappa latte that, it has it's god awful. It's like 1,000 calories in the damn thing. It's a milkshake.
And 75 grams of sugar, all of
And
which are artificial and added.
Well, this is what I like. Well, no shit. I love it too. It's delicious. It's a milkshake, dude.
It's addictive too.
It's addictive. Yeah. Well, I get it every day. I can tell.
Your body says it all, right? I can absolutely tell. It's funny though, because it's so lost in translation, man. And that's what drives me to want to move, and that's what drives me to want to travel so much, is because we just have a lost sense of culture and a lost sense of nature. Like eat what your mama Earth gave you. Like, it's right there.
Yep. And you just posted that like 30 minutes ago. I think that was
yeah, exactly.
That's a good looking salad. How was it?
It was delicious, dude. Avocado, spinach, nice olive oil and vinegar. Perfect. Salt, pepper. Dude, salt and pepper on a salad, game changer.
You need it. Yeah. I've been doing the salt, pepper. I'll do the olive oil and a touch of honey.
Hey, okay.
A little bit of honey goes a long way.
Absolutely. Dude, you know what you would love? And I think you should absolutely try, especially before. Do you eat eggs?
Here and there.
Okay.
I'm not big on eggs.
Not big on it. If you want some bomb pancakes, bro, 2 eggs, 1 banana, cinnamon, mix it up, pour it on the pan, it makes a pancake.
Seriously?
Huh. That simple. All right, 2 eggs, 1 banana, and some cinnamon, right?
I think I have all that in my kitchen right now.
Boom. And you can, even if you want, throw some protein powder in there.
I've been on my pancake kick, I gotta say.
Okay. All right.
I've been doing those Kodiak cakes, those, whatever they're protein pancakes. They have a bunch of flour
waffles and everything too.
Yeah. It's not the best thing in the world, but for my long, hard efforts, when I need a good carb source, I've been doing that. I've been sprinkling in the protein powder, a little scoop of peanut butter on my pancakes, get those fats so I can a hell of a good fuel source.
Yes, absolutely. And people underestimate the fat for fuel. Like, it's absolutely 100% necessary, especially anything long distance. Because you're in that metabolic Krebs cycle, and that's the only way you can break down and get more ATP or energy, is to break down your fats. Right. Yeah,
100%. A lot of, you hear a lot of the, carb fuel, carb load or whatever for these races, but your body can only store so many carbs.
Yes, exactly.
It stores X amount of carbs. Dude, we can hold a lot of fat in our bodies, a lot. I've held a lot of fat in my body before, and that is, like you said, just a better fuel source, especially for these longer endurance style events.
Without a doubt. And your ability to go back and forth from using sugar to using fat, I call it metabolic flexibility or metabolic efficiency. How quickly can your body transition from one fuel source to the other? That's a really good indicator of your actual long-term longevity-based health.
And that's all it is fuel.
That's all it is.
Carbs and fats, that's all it is fuel. That's what your body runs off of. And when a lot of people like the, carnivore diet or things like that, where it's just like, you're eating a lot of protein and things like that nature. But if you're eating this chicken breast, nothing but, you're not getting the carbs. You're not getting the fats. You're not fueling yourself properly. The way I see people can do it, if they eat ribeye all day long, you're getting a good amount of fat from that.
You're getting a good balance. Yeah.
Which I don't know, it'd be very difficult to, but you're getting that fuel source of the fatty meat in your body.
Yeah. And once again, anytime you go really strict on a diet, and you're eliminating so many things, your body obviously is going to understand what it's dealing with on a day-to-day basis, and it's going to get better and more efficient at breaking down that exact thing. And your body doesn't have to, break down 100 different types of foods. So yeah, you'll see improvements, but longevity-based, are you getting everything you need? No.
Yeah.
On a cellular level, you're not going to be able to sustain long-term health that way, from every ounce of research that I've ever read and seen. But dude, back to those pancakes. Please try them. Banana,
I will.
2 eggs, cinnamon, maybe some protein powder, and then the honey over the top.
Honey on the top.
Honey over the top. That's your syrup.
I got a Costco thing of honey, so I've been.
Hell yeah.
That sucker's on everything.
Yeah.
Again, it's another whole food fuel source. You can say what you want about sugar, but it's natural.
It's literally produced for a reason, right?
Yeah.
I mean, without a doubt, dude. So with everything you have, going on and everything that you are doing there and the life that you're building, do you ever see yourself leaving?
Anytime I go to the mainland, dude, I'm like, what the heck is going on here? Like, we're from New England, man, and people aren't the nicest.
No.
You can reach that firsthand. There's something to say about the aloha spirit, bro. It sounds so stupid.
No.
But like aloha is so much more than hello and goodbye. Yeah. Like, you have the biggest, meanest looking Hawaiian guys that are nothing but a teddy bear, dude. They're so nice. Everybody, when you're walking down the street, hey, how's it? Hey, aloha, brah, how's it? Like, everyone is so friendly. It's such a communal area where, everybody, there's crime, of course, in any, highly densely populated area, but people are willing to help. Just yesterday, I was fixing my car. I had to issue battery terminals, and I had to replace a water outlet, something on there, and I'm doing it. My neighbor, dude, I've lived here for 3 years 2 years in this house. I've hardly said a word to him. He comes over with this toolbox, and he's like, oh, bro, like, don't use this. I got a socket for you. And I'm like, dude, like, and he helped me. And then another guy was going to work, and he goes, oh, bro, like, use this. And then he came, and then my old roommate came by because I was like, dude, I just need to look at this. And like, I had like 6 people work on my car with me. It was wild.
That's amazing.
Like, my uncle, any older gentleman here, you call uncle.
Uncle.
That's the thing. So uncle that lives next door, older gentleman, he's like 70 years old. But he's even coming out, and he's like, oh, you got to pound that bolt out. And I'm like, dude, like, this was just 24 hours ago. I was working on my car, and I had all these people help me. It's simple things like that where you don't see that on the mainland, man. Like, people won't even look at you. When I'm here, though, and I'm like getting that island fever, especially now, I want to, I was looking at going back home for a little bit that I mentioned to you. Anytime I'm like, do I really want to go? Like, am I like going to leave Hawaii? Like, yeah, I'm out here in the middle of nowhere, but like, it's a quick little plane ride to the East Coast. Like, 12 hours isn't the longest thing in the world, it's one day.
Yeah, it's one day. That's so
but me more than my fiance would like to move because I just want to explore new things. I feel like I've conquered this island in a way where you just take what you can learn from it and you can grow from it. Reason I wanted to leave Rhode Island is I didn't feel like Rhode Island had anything else to offer me. I learned everything from my parents that I could, as well as my peers, as well as the job opportunities that I had. Now I'm here and I'm growing even more. I'm learning these things, these culture shock, being a minority out here, and you learn a lot. And maybe I want to go somewhere else and learn more. One place I had in mind was Colorado. That's, a big trail running community out there in Boulder, especially. That's one place that I've kind of had my eye on.
Okay.
But they get a lot of snow.
Valid point.
I like it here because I don't have to. I am the furthest thing from any sort of fashion guy. I have the same clothes I've always had. I think I wear this headband every day on my runs. So like here, I don't have to think. I just put on a board shorts and a t-shirt and I go outside. No matter what day of the year, we fluctuate from 70 to 80 degrees.
That's it.
Year round. It don't change.
It's amazing.
But it makes it a time lapse or that you're in this warp hole where like end of September feels like end of January. You don't know, and you don't have any concept of time out here where you can get lost.
Dude, and like, I can't even explain it, but since I moved to Florida, I've been here for almost 2.5 years now, and I don't know where the time has gone. Like, you remember, oh, that winter because it was snowing.
You break it down in those 4 seasons in New England.
Yes, and like that's something to like segment your year, but here it fluctuates a lot more than there. So there could
be way less than New England.
Yes, still far less than
where you wake up in the morning and you got your heat on, and then midday you got your AC on, and then at the end of the day you got your heat back on.
Yes, which is literally what they're experiencing right now in the fall.
Oh yeah.
It was just 34 degrees there the other day, and my dad texted me yesterday. He was like, "It just doubled in the amount of degrees in less than 48 hours. It was 34 degrees out. Now it's 72. What the hell is going on?" Like, I don't.
It's bizarre. It is bizarre.
It's so strange.
And personally, like living out there, I always got some sort of sickness during those transitional times when the weather was fluctuating a lot. I would, maybe just like a sore throat, a common cold kind of thing during those temperature fluctuations. And out here, I don't think I've been, the only time I got sick, I think I went to the mainland and I caught something. And during my last trip that I went out over there, that was super fun and successful.
There you go. Yeah. Then I would be interested to see if you were to go back to the mainland into a seasonal place, even like Boulder, because they have seasons.
Yeah, similar. Yeah.
What you would experience from an immune system thing, because now you are in a totally different place in terms of lifestyle, how you live, what you eat, all of those different
That's true. They definitely all come into play with that. That's for sure.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll be experiencing the Rhode Island weather though.
Yeah. And then in terms of like going outside of the country, completely, what grabs your attention? Where do you want to go? I would assume now you have a lot of Asian influence being there that you would want.
Of course, yeah, a lot of that. A lot of Australian and like Japanese come out here. Australia kind of interests me. I have a good friend that moved out over there within the last year or so. So I kind of see like inside, Instagram things, talk with him. How does he like it? He did like a little work visa thing out there, but he seems to love it. But nothing really interests me in that regard. If anything, Canada.
Interesting.
Like British Columbia, Vancouver side, like on that west coast.
Yeah.
Whistler. They have a lot of nice mountains over there. They have, again, that's going back to the season sort of thing. But if I've never left the country. I've only explored the United States. But if I were to leave, God, it'd have to be Canada. Like that's the only place I could think of as far as like making a move out of the country.
Interesting. The only place I've ever been out of the country is Canada. I went to Toronto, so I really didn't leave the country because it's essentially in New York.
Yeah,
it's essentially another New York City. But it's, dude, when you talk about different lifestyle and the amount of like nice people, it was.
That's Canada is.
Yes, it was.
They're too nice.
They're too nice. Yeah, almost. It was insane. There was so. I mean, I went out there on spring break with Corv. You remember Alex Corvasi, Zach Saylor, Josh Nerney, all people that we grew up with in our neighborhood. And I went out there with them, and it was amazing, dude. Like, we had so much fun, but everybody was so nice. It was so diverse, and the city was super clean. I haven't seen a city that clean in I don't even know that I have in the United States, honestly. Just super, super, super clean, and everybody was super nice. I wouldn't mind it, but once again, you talk about snow. You're in Canada. You're living.
No.
You're in the complete opposite of what you're dealing with. You're waking up every day and it's snowing. You get lost in the winter time lapse.
Yeah, that's for sure. But it gives you that concept of time a little bit that we mentioned.
Without a doubt. Did you ever go snowboarding and skiing?
I've done some skiing. Not good. I did like the easy hills a couple times. I'm like, dude, I am nice. Let's go to the top of the mountain. And my fiance, who is skied her whole life, I never grew up skiing. My family, you know, I always thought it was kind of like a rich sport, if you will.
Yes.
It's, you know,
grew up with it.
That's why I like running, because it is the poorest man sport there is.
Ever.
You put up that post, like, what piece of fitness equipment do you like? Dude, just my trail running shoes.
Yeah, just my shoes.
Just give me something with some good grip and I'll send it. I'll climb up a tree if I want to work on some upper body.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, go up to the top of the mountain, and I did it once, and I'm just bombing downhill, flying. I don't know. It was a very uncomfortable speed. I never really rode on motorcycles or things like that. So I'm flying and just tumble. I start tumbling. My skis go everywhere. This little 8-year-old comes up, you know, does this sick stop. Hey, mister, here's your ski. And I'm like, thanks, kid. Appreciate you a lot. I was like, let's get to the bottom of this mountain, get some coffee, get some hot chocolate or something.
That's the classic, dude. You get to the bottom of the mountain. I need some hot chocolate, marshmallows in it, the whole nine. Yeah, hell yeah.
Please. No, it's something, I got nothing but respect for those skiers, snowboarders. A lot of these, you know, elite trail runners, you know, when they're in those climates, they do a lot of skiing, ski-mo races, where you're skiing up and down the hill.
Yes.
Which is,
cross-country skiing.
Yeah. Which
talk about a leg exercise. Yeah.
I would love that.
Mm-hmm.
I would love going up. I like that workout. Going down scares the crap out of me.
No, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's
but definitely a good type of cross training for sure.
Without a doubt. So in terms of, you know, getting back to training, what's one word you would describe or use to describe the way you train and the way you try to go about your day-to-day physical activity? If you could
Outdoors.
give one word.
Outdoors.
Love it.
When this pandemic hit, you know, I had gym membership, of course, as like everyone else, but the main reason I went to that gym was for recovery purposes. Mm-hmm. And they had an ice bath, the cold plunge thing. They had the sauna, the steam room, the hot tub. That was the one thing that sold it. It was a super expensive, bougie spa kind of gym, but I would go there and just use the spa. I would go there for recovery purposes. But since, you know, I canceled my membership, I do it here. I got a big tub that I do some ice baths here at home. And I like to work out outside. My coach, his fitness company is Malka Makai Fitness. In Hawaiian translates to Mountain Ocean Fitness.
Nice.
So I go to a lot of my training. I go outside, I run the trails, I'll pick up logs, I'll carry rocks in the ocean. I try to keep it extremely simple. As far as like regular fitness equipment, I got a couple sandbags, something I'll go for heavy carries. There's stuff that, you know, you can do your lunges, your squats, your power cleans, your deadlifts with them. You know, there's sandbag over the shoulders, working on that, like that explosive ability. Mm-hmm. Try to keep it simple. I haven't touched a barbell in 6 months. You know, anytime I do, you know, dumbbell work, it's usually lightweight, high rep kind of thing. Gotcha. Working on endurance. I do like getting that body under that stress with the heavy weight though. Yeah. There's something special about that. But it's just something that I kind of left out of my training because I'm very focused on these Spartan races. It's something that kind of grabbed my attention that I think I can kind of flourish with a little bit. Cool. When they had the races out here last year, I crushed it. I took second place in 2 of the races. It was the first time I ever hit a podium. And I'm like, I kind of like this.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the third race, I got lost in the back of the jungle. It was supposed to be like 13 miles. I ended up doing like 16.
Damn.
I just got lost, dude. I ended up like doing a part of the course a couple times, which was a bummer, but it was my own fault, I suppose.
Yeah.
And
but
then,
either way, I mean, you learn.
But either way,
fun, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're out there having fun regardless. You know. And then I did another race, went back to Seattle. Then I did last year was a Tahoe race where I got the banner from. I think they weren't giving them out, but they were like, I think they were going to throw them away. So I got one. And I saw my coach win. We went up there with the big group and I saw my coach win. And I participated in the Ultra, which was a 30-mile race, mountain race. It was 2 laps of the course, which was, I got my first DNF. Did not finish because they had this gnarly thunderstorm in the area. And I didn't finish in time.
Damn.
And that was the most brutal race that I ever did. That was, again, it was similar to that Seattle type where it was cold, wet, rainy, and you're in Tahoe at elevation. And they had you go up the mountain. They had you swim in a lake. They're trying to break you.
Yeah.
And, they made you swim in the lake, which is cool because it isn't a man-made lake. It's a natural lake that has been out there all day, all year, forever. And one obstacle that got me was this, they call it the 8 hanger. It's this long ladder-like monkey bar thing, that loose ladder. But which I did it the first lap, no problem. Second lap, I'm kind of fatigued. I fell off it, but it's above a pit of water. Man-made pit of water at the top of the mountain, and I went in, completely submerged myself. Damn. And dude, I was coming down that mountain. I had hypothermia. I was shaking like no tomorrow. I pissed myself like 4 times during that race to warm up.
Whoa.
To literally to warm up. I'm like, dude, I'm shaking. I'm so cold. I can't run. I'm freezing. And it goes to a little bit of survival mode. You go into that I don't know, part of your brain where it's just I need to do whatever it takes to survive and get through this. Next day, I see my coach go through the race. He crushes it. He got what they call triple ones in Spartan. It's the first in your age group. It's the first overall, and it's the first male.
Wow.
It's coveted. I never got it.
Hell yeah, that's insane.
Until this year, I went to Arizona in February, and that was the successful little trip I did to the mainland, and I got triple ones. I came out and balled out because after that Tahoe race last September, a year ago, I got so hungry, dude. Mm-hmm. I got so hungry. I was like, I want to do this.
That's awesome, man.
And then did a couple races in Arizona, won both of them. Went over by you. I was actually in Jacksonville. Went over there, won that race. And then I ran with the pros. And those dudes are quick, man. So I won my first 3 races, age group. And then I went to go race with the pros. And I'm like, dude, these guys are so fast. And, I placed, I was 18th or something. I did okay. But it got me to the drawing board. And it was I know you only need to be so strong for these obstacles. Spartan, you did, it was the Savage race. Yeah. Those obstacles are tough.
Yeah, some of them were tough. Yeah.
Very grip intensive obstacles. OCR, World Championship. It's a different company than Spartan. It's all about the obstacles.
Gotcha.
But Spartan in particular, it's a running race.
Okay.
So that's why I've been doing a lot more of the lighter weighted stuff, a lot more running. I've been upping my mileage to 50 miles a week almost, with about 10 hours on the feet, gaining a lot of elevation. I do a lot of hill running, I'm running on mountains, Yeah. I'll gain 2,000 feet of elevation gain in any given workout for the most part. You would probably need to go up to North Carolina to find that kind of elevation.
I was just going to say, that's the one thing I miss about down here, man. Everything's fucking flat.
Everything's super flat.
Nothing to do in terms of hiking a mountain or going to a natural made, actual lake that's swimmable. You don't swim in lakes in Florida. No, you stay the hell away from them. I miss
gators.
Yeah. I miss that stuff. For that simple aspect, I came up with the ideology of limitless fitness with the idea that you can work out anytime, anywhere, any place, because you have your body. That's the most important piece of equipment in the the universe, and you do get limited in a sense based on where you are in terms of what you can experience.
Sure.
I have the ocean. I can go to the ocean all day, but to what extent can I go to a mountain or run a hill? And very
the best
limited.
thing you got is a parking garage.
Yeah, I could run to the top of the freaking, waste management plant, but that's about it. Like,
it's about as much vert as you can get.
yeah. You don't have natural terrain, you know what I'm saying? In terms of, like you said, running a parking garage, run stairs. Yeah, but I want to feel grounded. I want to put my feet, I want to be around trees when I do it.
Yeah. And just feeding off that natural energy from the earth itself when you're out in the jungle, in the woods, doing these hiking trails, you feel good. You're right next to the oxygen source. The oxygen is coming right from these trees, and it feels good. And then, you mentioned the grounding. That's one thing that we did the other day. I try to incorporate that maybe once a week. I'll do just a barefoot hike.
Nice. Very
simple. Again, very low impact. But it's one of those other parts of the body that you don't really train. The bottom of your feet have so many bones, so many muscles. A lot of people have injuries in that regard. They don't have the proper mobility that they need in their ankles and feet, where when they're running and they twist an ankle, I twist an ankle 2 to 3 times a run, but my ankle mobility is pretty good. Yeah. I've yet to have an injury, knock on wood. But that grounding, when you're feeling the energy from the earth, you just can't mimic that. You can't mimic that in a gym. You cannot mimic that in running in a parking garage.
No, it doesn't even come close. For me, I go to the beach, I get very grounded. When I go put my feet in the sand, there's grass around the sand sometimes, and further away from the water. Doing that, just even getting in the water itself is grounding. You get the minerals straight from the water. It's getting absorbed. The biggest organ in our body is our skin. What you give your skin, you're giving to your entire body. Exactly. So that stuff is massive. I love that and that's why I wanted you on here, man, because you incorporate the simple things, the things that get back to our roots, our nature, our life style as human beings, who we are, where we came from. We came from Earth. We have to use Earth in order to get to where we want to go, which is a greater, more I would say, more efficient way of living and a more efficient society.
And very simplistic.
Exactly.
The fitness industry, there is so many books and so many experts, but dude, this stuff is simple. It's just get outside and feel good. Yeah.
I had 3 clients today. The only piece of equipment they touched was a kettlebell. Everything else was body weight. Yeah. It's moved.
You don't have any equipment? Well, do burpees for an hour. Just do that. If you can't get a good workout in, just do that. You don't have much time? All right, do it for 12 minutes.
Yeah.
You're gassed, dude. I do burpees for 45 seconds and I'm toast.
Done. Dude, you would have loved this exercise I did today. I called it a surfy. Okay, so I taught class. I called them surfies. And the ideology of class was 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest, right? So it's
Tabata style workouts.
Yeah, so it was super simple, right? Goal is metabolic, right? Get the heart rate up, looking for the burn in the muscle. And it was called a surfy. So you do a burpee, but you end up in a surfing position. You do a burpee, you end up in the opposite surfing style. You go eat it.
That gains some oblique movement in there too, yeah?
Absolutely. So now you're getting transverse in your burpee. You're getting, landing in a surfing style. Now, if you pay attention to that, how efficiently can I make that landing? It was, people were loving it. They were like, where do you come up with this stuff? I was like, I literally just watched life. I watch things happen around me, and I say, that's an exercise. That's a movement. Yeah. That's a movement that we do.
It goes that animal flow. It goes to that feeling like a kid again,
Yes.
Fitness isn't always big biceps and deadlifting 300 pounds, that is fitness. But it can be as simple as doing a surfy. It can be as simple as walking outside with no shoes on. It can be as simple as just, let's go for a hike. You know what? I'm going to put the weight vest on for this hike. Let's get a little extra burden. Let's fill up the backpack with, some bricks. Just simple things like it's so simple. You don't need to complicate nutrition. You don't need to complicate fitness. You need to keep it simple, but be consistent.
Hell yeah. Consistency. It's the key word there, man.
Yeah.
What on a day like today, it's a Saturday, right? It's super early where you are. What do you have going on the rest of your day?
Whatever my fiance tells me to do.
Okay.
But no. But today in particular, I'm ready to run, man. We're probably just gonna go out, do a little easy run. I have something planned. My birthday's on Monday, so turning 27. I'm gonna do a 27-mile mountain run.
Yes.
It's gonna be it might be like 28. I think it's a 27.9-mile loop.
25-ish miles.
Yeah. Minor, you know. It's the Peacock Challenge. It's one race that they do out here, but I'm gonna go to that race course, try to mimic that loop.
Cool.
And so the next couple of days gonna be kind of chill, kind of easy. I'll probably just do something, quick little easy run today. Might hit the beach, go for a little drive kind of thing. Kind of mellow next couple of days, and then Monday we're gonna hit it hard with a long run, and then I'm gonna start getting myself as well as some of my clients ready for OCR Stars.
Oh yeah, love it, man. That sounds like a well-deserved birthday weekend. I wish more people would, instead of doing 27 shots of tequila, would run 27 miles on their birthday, right? It's just a way of life. It's a lifestyle choice, man. It just goes to show that it's possible. It's doable. It's something that more people just need to be in tune with, and that's why.
Yeah, for sure.
It's literally every time I open my Instagram or my Facebook and I see some of the stuff you're doing, I'm like, all right, now I get
nice.
you can get wrapped up in stuff, right? It's so easy to get wrapped up. I see your stuff, and along with so many other people, but it always hits home when it's someone that you grew up around or with, and you've seen transition and grow and level up. It makes it so much easier to say, if he's doing it, so can I.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. So I appreciate it.
Do you actually, you remember our first interaction together?
Dude, probably like a playground or something. I don't know.
I think I played basketball at your house.
What?
My cousin Michael.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Michael
Cardarelli,
yes.
Yeah.
Dude.
That's my first cousin.
Holy crap. Dude, now, hold on.
That's how long we go back.
Do you remember, this was the first time I ever watched Billy Madison, was with you and Michael Cardarelli. Think about that. I remember it at his house, and his dad came in and we were watching it, and his dad was so mad. His dad was so mad we were watching it.
That sounds like my Uncle Mike. That's my godfather.
Dude,
yeah, that's for sure. I think we were probably like 8 or 9 or something, had like a sleepover at his house, and I think we went to your house to play basketball or something the next day. Because he lived right by you, by like Waterman.
He was on, yeah. Holy shit.
That's how far.
Wow.
I was waiting to mention that to you for a while.
Holy crap. And it's funny because you remember the basketball part. I really don't. I remember the watching the movie and the sleepover part. Yes. Holy shit. That's amazing. And you were older, right? So
I was like a couple years older or something.
So you were probably in like 3rd or 4th or maybe 5th grade. I don't know. And we were
around there
below you. And he was not okay with us watching it. And you were like, what do you mean? It's a good movie.
Anything Adam Sandler's dope, dude.
Dude, he lives in Boca, which is where I work. He lives in
Boca. Really?
Oh, yeah.
I think he has a place out here in Hawaii because I've waited on him a couple times at my restaurant.
That's hilarious.
Came in a few great Adam Sandler story. He was in the restaurant with his friends, family. He's kind of in the back a little bit away from people, and we have live music every night. And he's like, he's a big musician. Like he does all his comedic songs and stuff. So he's really digging our musician. He's like, oh, I hear him. Oh, this guy's good. I'm walking by him. And, oh, this guy's good. And then he goes up to the musician to like, say, I really like what you're doing. And right before he opens his mouth, he said, "Oh, excuse me." He wanted to see if he could play a few songs. And Adam Sandler, he wants to be a little incognito. He goes, "Oh, no. And walks away, got super embarrassed. And then 2 minutes later, he goes back up, grabs the guitar, starts just strumming. I don't think he sang anything, but he started strumming on his guitar. And then I went up to him after. I was like, "Oh, so I didn't mean to put you on the spot like that." He goes, "Oh, dude, that was funny. That was good."
That's absolutely hysterical, man. That's awesome. Of all people to get like flustered, the one guy that has lived his entire life doing comedian movies where he doesn't seem to laugh. I don't get it.
Yeah. I was like, "I didn't mean to put you on the spot, dude, but I couldn't resist a good joke."
And that's what's awesome. He seems like one of those awesome, like natural,
super down to earth. You see how he dresses.
Yes.
I got that same vibe. Fashion, not my thing.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the shorts. Give me the beat up T-shirt.
Ready to go.
I'm ready to get out.
That's hilarious, man. What a story. What a full circle, right?
I know, right?
We end the story on a Billy Madison, story that you met him out there in Hawaii. I live apparently 10 minutes from him, and
oh yeah.
And he was how we started our friendship 15, 18 years ago.
That's wild.
Crazy.
That is still wild.
You never know where life's going to take you, dude.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's definitely for sure.
All right, I got one more question for you. But before I ask, man, where can everyone follow you and get inspired and watch what you're doing on a day-to-day basis?
Best place would be Instagram at Eric Waz here, Eric W-A-Z here, or Wahoo Go Hard on Instagram as well. As well, I'm on Facebook. One way you cannot get a hold of me is texting or calling me. I don't have a cell phone. I haven't had a cell phone in about a year. Mm-hmm. Just disconnect a little bit. It feels good to disconnect and not be in constant contact with people. Mm-hmm. It's going to that little bit of an uncomfortable feeling where I always had a cell phone. But when I moved here, I got rid of it for a little while. Then I got it back and I'm like, I could take pictures and I could always be in contact. But I'm one of those dudes, I'm going to be on it all the time. What I use this. I use an iPad when I'm at home. I use my computer. That's like, people like, "You go on Instagram on an iPad? You can do that?" I'm like, uh-huh. Yeah. I was like, that's my means of communication, Facebook Messenger and Instagram.
Not bad, man. Not bad. That's super cool. I remember you told me that probably 6 months ago. And I was like,
people like, I know it's a weird thing because everybody has it. They're like, "Oh, can I get your number?" I'm like, "No." They're like, "Well, that's so rude."
What a dickhead. No.
Yeah,
I just don't have a number. I don't have a number to give you, bro. That's far too funny. All right, my last question, man. If you had 30 minutes to have 3 conversations with anybody in the world, anybody who you admire, anybody that you know, anybody who is still alive, anybody who is not, who would it be? 30 minutes.
First would be my dad. Without a doubt, lost my dad about a year ago. It's kind of who I kind of dedicate my fitness things to. When I was in Tahoe last year, it was for my birthday, same time last year. And he left me a voicemail, "Happy birthday, I know you're on the mountain, blah, blah, blah." He had a heart attack about 11 months ago. Without a doubt, it'd be my dad. Other than that, I don't want to really talk to anybody else.
Respect, man. Sorry for bringing that out like that, but
nah, dude.
I know it can help, and it can just show people who are watching what everyone goes through and how life can really come out of left field. And like you said, you take life head on. You run hills. You don't run your mouth. You disconnect from the bullshit, and you stay tuned into yourself, your life, your loved ones, and you're all about making it happen, man. So that's, once again, just keep pushing, keep doing your thing. I really, really, really fucking respect everything that you do, everything that you stand for. And I can't say enough, man. I thank you for your time and coming on here.
Yeah.
If there's anything else you want to say, the floor is yours, sir.
Right on. No, I appreciate you, especially just kind of reaching out with you, kind of keeping in contact with you through our similar interests. I love the platform that you have, and I do appreciate you having me on here. Something that I definitely wanted to do for a little while. I'm glad we kind of finally figured it out. As far as like a couple like last little things, one thing I want to do shout out is Athletic Brewing. I'm an ambassador for that company. I've had my family, God, we are terrible with alcohol. My mother, my father, my sister, my aunts and uncles, we all have issues. I felt that at an early age, even in high school, we'd party a lot. And I felt like I had a little bit of a issue with it at a young age. And after moving here in Hawaii, that's how a lot of people connect, especially in the restaurant industry. A lot of people, they call it a pauhana. Pau means finished, hana is work. So when you're finished with work, a lot of people go out for a pauhana drink. And that's how people connect. People connect with food and alcohol. But it can also be very damaging. So this Athletic Brewing Company is a non-alcoholic craft beer. I've always been big into craft beer. I love my IPAs, as well as other, I like good beer. I can't drink a Bud Light. It just doesn't, it's really not good for me. Give me a ice water and an iced tea or something instead. But I do like these craft beers. I found out about them through the Spartan races, because they sponsor them. And I, sent them an email, sent them my athletic resume, and was like, hey, I like what you guys do. I like what you stand for. Not a big fan of drinking. But don't get me wrong, like, it's not like I'm sober. Like, I do, I think I had a blue moon last night watching the Celtics get the dub.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe 2. I don't know. It was good. But no, I do enjoy these, especially after, a long, hard run. What I've been doing lately is I haven't had much interaction with other people, as well as like I'm not working. So I'll go out early morning, I'll run my ass off. I'll do, say a 10-mile run with 2,000 feet of elevation gain. And I wouldn't be able to do that first thing in the morning if I had a couple beers the night before. Like you're not like hungover, but you're just the slightest bit delayed.
Yes, 100%.
And that's one thing that people will not realize and recognize during their fitness journey and stuff is, I'm eating salads, I'm eating salmon, and I'm eating protein shakes. But I'm like, dude, you drank a 6-pack, like, of craft beer. There's 300 calories per beer. Like, I can have a beer. It's not like I feel like I need the excess. But like, people like, you drink a non-alcoholic beer? Why would you do that if you're not getting drunk? I'm like, well, I hate being drunk. Like, I don't like that feeling. For one, I hate being drunk. And two, it's like, they taste bomb. They give you that like almost like a placebo effect, where it's like you feel that like a little bit of bloatedness, and you're like, I just drank beer, and you think you have,
you're
maybe
just a little more relaxed.
A little bit more relaxed, and it's just like it's essentially just another recovery tool. Yeah. So cool. Definitely that's one thing I do love. I do some CBD. I use Prevail CBD. It's a company that my fiance partnered with, and they have, droplets. One thing I do like, and I probably use too much of hers, is the Solvay Rub. And it's a nice CBD, but they also use other essential oils. It's not just pure CBD. They have like lavender and different other essential oils in there, and it's really soothing. Nice. One thing I just recently got, I was actually using it during the podcast. I wasn't texting. This is a TENS unit. One thing I was using. They got the little nodes. They give you like a little, a little shot kind of thing. Not it's more of a massage tool when you got sore muscles and stuff, as well as ice tub baths. A big old tub. I'll throw some blocks of ice in there, just sitting there for a little while, and you'll feel brand new the next day. Yep, 100%. It's one thing I definitely do enjoy. All the tips. Right here. A little bit. Glad you saved them all for me. Yeah, don't release that part. Yeah. You guys won't hear that. No. Yeah.
No, guys, you obviously there's a lot to take away from this conversation. Listen again, take notes, do what you got to do. He's got quite a simple way of life, but super impactful. So go follow him, do what you can. If you want to contact him, once again, Facebook, Instagram, reach out. I'm sure he will, be all right with reaching back out. No promises though. Sometimes
talking story.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's talk story all day.
So thank you again, man. I appreciate you. We'll continue to stay in contact and talk and chat and kick ass on that 27-mile birthday race of yours.
I'll definitely I'll tag you in it. I'll post about it. I'll see how we'll see how I do. It'll be a long one. It'll be a grueling one.
Dude, no doubt you'll kill it regardless. Either way. Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
Until next Dylan, again, thanks for having me on here. We'll talk again soon, and we'll stay limitless.
Yes, until next time. You know it.
Aloha.
Limitless Fitness family, this one is for you. If you are a weekend warrior, a fitness enthusiast, a fitness professional, or an athlete, young or old, it does not matter. If you are trying to get fit or stay fit or improve your fitness levels, head over to ck1bands.com and grab yourself a pair or set or single band, because a resistance band is one of the most efficient pieces of fitness equipment that you can use anytime, anywhere, any place, and you can bring with you almost anywhere you travel. So head over to ck1bands.com and use the code LIMITLESS, all capitalized, for a special discount at checkout. Please go support Chris, everything he's doing. Chris Capon was a high school teammate of mine, a lifelong friend, and the first guest on the LT360 podcast. He is the creator and founder of CK1 Sports. If you have not listened to that podcast, I highly suggest you go do that. And after you do, or while you are listening or watching it, head over to ck1bands.com and grab yourself some bands. I use these things every day with my clients, and they never disappoint. Shout out to all my fellow athletes and health enthusiasts out there. Did you know that your typical average pill or capsule-based vitamin or supplement takes anywhere from 48 to 72 hours to actually be broken down in your stomach and begin to get digested? And upon digestion, about 70% of what is on the label is going to be utilized by the body. So stop wasting your time and money on basic everyday vitamins. It's time that you start to understand the science behind it, and it's time that I introduce you guys to Isotonics. Isotonics brings to you the world's most advanced nutraceuticals. They are taking science to a whole nother level when it comes to vitamins and supplementation. A true holistic approach. Iso means same and tonic means pressure. So these isotonic vitamins, which are powders that you mix with water, are going to be recognized by the body as blood, sweat, or tears. And when you digest them, they get bypassed through the stomach straight into the small intestine, so absorption can begin in less than 5 minutes. On an empty stomach, 90% of what is on the nutrition label can be absorbed in just under 30 minutes. It's something that is unprecedented and unmatched in the industry. You cannot feel the difference with vitamins like you can feel the difference with isotonics. So the delivery matters. And to give you guys proof, I want you to be able to check out and learn for yourself and experience it yourself. Feel that isotonics difference. So head over to shop.com or isotonics.com/limitless theory and check out all of the amazing isotonics vitamins and supplements that you can get your hands on and get 10% off your first order using code 10OFFMA, 10OFFMA, all capitalized, at checkout for 10% off. And just know, when you start to buy isotonics on a regular basis, not only will you get 10% off your first order and additional orders in the future, you will also get 2% cash back on anything you spend, and if you put it on auto ship, you can save an additional 5% on every order. The opportunities are endless, and the difference is felt. So make sure to go get yourself some isotonics and start to feel the difference for yourself. What's up, Limitless Theory Tribe? Hope you enjoyed the episode. I wanted to take a second to give you an opportunity to save 10% off on anything in the Limitless Theory apparel store. Everything from beach towels to coffee mugs, t-shirts, sweatshirts, and tank tops, and much, much more. New styles rolling out all the time. Use code LT10 at checkout for 10% off. LT10 at checkout, all capitalized, for 10% off anything Limitless Theory apparel related. And all you have to do is take a picture and tag us so that you can get 10% off again next time. Peace. DFoss here. If you're anything like me, you love free 99. That's why I want you to head over to thelimitlesstheory.com/free. I dedicated this portion of my website to specifically give you free tips, tricks, resources to check out and use for free, and also give you an opportunity to support other small local business owners like myself who have often already been on my podcast and you may already know. So head over to thelimitlesstheory.com/free to see what free 99 can do for you. DFoss here with another important sponsor. This one is awesome. It is a way to get high quality meat delivered straight to your door by Bristelli's Meat Market. It was established in 1976. They are now a global leader in the highest quality meat. And it is awesome. If you are an unfranchised owner like myself, you can earn anywhere from 22 to 27.5% IBV on your orders. And if you are a customer through shop.com/Limitless Theory, you can also earn cash back every time you buy your high quality meats for you and your family. Not only can you get filet mignon and burgers and chicken, but you can also get salmon and tuna and shrimp, and even a combination of regular meat and seafood. So make sure to check out Bristelli's, but most of all, check out shop.com/Limitless Theory to learn more.